Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know? Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what? Say what?
Hello, hello, hello. We are back, chameleons. We are back for episode 3 of Girl, Yes, You Can. I am your host, the CEO, Shakima. And it's always so exciting to be here. And it's even more exciting to be here because I have a very, 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 very special guest with me. But before I introduce her to you guys, and to some of you, she's not a stranger, but for some of you that'll be tuning in today for the very first time. But before I get into that, of course, I have to pay homage to the branding company for being the engine to keep this vehicle running, week after week and series after series, episode after episode, and then to Whitfield for making such a fitting introduction song that I just absolutely love. And I always have to listen to it a couple times before I present myself to you because it just gets me in the right headspace. And to all of my chameleons, I would not be here without you. I love each and every one of you. And I hope that you are enjoying this series as much as I am, because we are giving it all to you. So let me introduce to you guys, as I said, someone who's very, 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 very special to me, because this is the woman that gave birth to me, right? You are going to be hearing from none other than my mom, Miss Diana Glenn, and we're going to be talking about some really, really good stuff. You might want to, get some tissue because it might get emotional. She's going to be sharing with us, her journey, finding out, when she had breast cancer, the emotional part, the physical part, the spiritual part. But I'm going to be the bearer of good news before she even gets into it. But she's still here with us, and she's well and full of energy and just full of life. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you my mom, Miss Diana Glenn. Mom, thank you for not finding it robbery to come and spend some time with us and just kind of share with us, your journey, because I'm sure it's millions and millions of other women that are experiencing and that have experienced what you experience. And then there are, millions of women who unfortunately may have to experience that. So we always want to make sure that we're giving life and we're adding value. And we just want to let our women know that, girl, yes, you can. God is amazing. He is faithful. And we owe it all to him. So Miss Glenn, Miss Diana Glenn, if you don't mind, just kind of, if it's okay with you, would you kind of walk us through your journey from the time when, you found out, and, how you felt, and, how you were, able to overcome some of the things that you did to help you when you, were not having, such good days?
Oh, wow. It's very emotional. I'm going to say this: during the time that I was diagnosed with breast cancer, my daughter was pregnant with my first grandson. There was so much going on. There was so much happiness in the air. But when I went and got my mammogram, I had my oldest granddaughter with me, and I went and got it done. And the man said, "Can you come back and do it again?" I said, "Ty, something's not right." So I went, and then the next day, my doctor called me. Come in. So I said, so I called my husband. I told him, I said, "Can you meet me at the doctor? Because I don't think I'm doing good." So when I got there, he finally got there, and he told me, he said, "Well, we found something in your left breast. We're not sure what it is, So I went to see a surgeon, and he did a biopsy on my left breast. And I waited a couple of days, and he came back. And he told me I had a cancer. So I went back again. So he said, well, the best thing to do is I'm going to go in there, and whatever I find, I'm going to take care of it. Oh, so that was my first surgery. I went in, took it out, took a couple of my lymph nodes out. So he got in touch with my cancer doctor, Miss Gamble, and she said, well, we need you to go back in just to be sure and take out the lymph nodes. That's my third surgery. I don't think I can't do this. This is really, really not happening. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't want anybody to know. I didn't tell anybody, but only one knew was my husband. My mother had issues with my dad. Had Alzheimer's. So I didn't want to add a burden to nobody. You know, my daughter was pregnant with her first child after going through so much to have a baby. So I keep it to myself. It got too big for me. When they told me that I had to have, I went in to meet with the cancer doctor. She said, no, we're going to do chemo. We're going to do 2 types of chemo because yours is aggressive. That day was a hard day. I had told my husband to meet me. So he didn't show up, so I called a girlfriend. So she showed up. So she was with me when the doctor told me that, I was going to have chemo and radiation. Even though they say they got it all, I'm going to make sure. So another sad note, they scheduled me to start my chemo on my daughter's birthday. And my sister came from North Carolina. She stayed, that was my first chemo. She stayed with me the whole time. It was so funny. She brought me a little pink hat and she brought me a blanket. She said, because you might be cold. Even though it was the summertime, it was in June, July, and August. Mm-hmm. She brought me that and she stayed with me. Now, my first chemo was horrible. Gave me one chemo, then they gave me something called the Red Bull, which they have to put in personally. The nurse has to put it in within a certain amount of time. Right after I got the chemo, the next day I had to come back and get a shot. And they gave me a prescription. I must have had about 15 different types of medicine. The third day, I got so sick. Between Monday and Wednesday, I had lost 15 pounds. I couldn't stop going to the bathroom. I had diarrhea, so I called my husband. I said, you need to come and get me, take me to the hospital. So I went back to the clinic. Eventually, they put me in the hospital. I think I was in the hospital. They were giving me everything. And nothing worked. I said, oh, this don't look good. So finally, the doctor just cut everything out. What it was, they were giving me too much. Mm. And it made me so sick. Oh, I was so sick. So finally, when I got out the hospital, I went back and they remeasured it and regrouped everything and got everything together and they started up again. That week, got my chemo. The next day, I got my shot. So I decided I'm going to go visit my daughter. I went upstairs and I started coming. And my hair started coming. And my daughter looked at me. I think that's when I had to tell her that I was sick, really sick. So I couldn't stand her hurt. So I got in my car and I left. I stopped at a friend's house. I said, do me a favor, please cut off, just shave my hair off. So she said, you sure? I said, the idea of just, you're going through so much mentally, physically, your body's going through. I said, just cut it off. I don't want to have to deal with losing hair every time I comb it. It's so bad. So she cut it off. And I was fine with that. I said, okay, I'm better. So once I could say this, once I realized and accepted that I had this disease that I had to overcome, then things started getting better. I had to believe that I had it. I had to take control of it. I couldn't let it keep controlling me because it kept making me sicker. Once I did that, I'm not saying the treatments got me better, but I started feeling better in my head. And it went on for, my daughter had her baby in October. I didn't go visit my daughter anymore because I thought out of ignorance that whatever I had could transform her and her baby and my grandson. So I stayed away. I wasn't there for Judith's birth. I missed all of that. So finally, and let me say this, at the same time I was going to class, I was going to school. And they wanted me not to go to school. I said, listen, this is my last year. I'm going to graduate. It was so hard because I would feel so bad, but I made it through. I mean, I took my graduation picture. I had no hair, but I graduated and I started chemo about a year later. Once I got finished that, I would say this, cancer is something that a person that has to have a, I don't know what the word is, a group, a net, people that's surrounded by you, that's going to stand by you, that's going to maybe hold your hand or tell you everything's going to be okay. And I didn't have that with my husband. I really didn't have it. His attitude was very nasty. And so, but I had it with my kids once they knew. I had it with my parents. And my dad was sick, but he knew something was wrong with his grump. So you need to be there for people that's going through this. They need it. They need it mentally. They need it physically. They need it to survive. Because it is no joke. And I was so sick. And the medicine they give you was so much. You had to take antibiotics, 4 or 5 antibiotics. You had to take medicine to keep you awake. You had to take medicine to keep you from being sick and from throwing up. It's a lot, and it has to be shared. I did this for over a year. Once I finished my chemo, which was a year, I started radiation. That was hard too, because that's like something's burning your skin. It's a hard disease, and it has to be shared with people that can help. I'm one of the lucky people. Once I got finished, I didn't have to have any more medication. I had to go back every 3 months for first 3 months, for a year, then 6 months, and then until I was cancer free, so I didn't have to take any medicine. But once I got through it, you still have side effects. I have issues with my nerves. I have neuropathy with my feet. It's still left. The cancer is gone, but I still have issues with, like my nerves, my head shakes, my feet, I have neuropathy in my feet. There's so many different things that stay with you. The cancer is gone, but the side effects with you. So it's a lot, and it takes a village to keep loving people, because it wasn't in my family. So now I make sure my daughter does what she has to do, watch herself. Cancer is something else, but you get through it, you survive it. I go to, when they have it every year, I try to be there. I graduated college. And I had my classmate that would help me. Hey, that's okay. Just lay your head down. Just be here. Just, be present, But I love you.
Yeah. You shared a lot. I mean, it was a lot. And we could take away so many different things from it. For one, you are so strong. And you said a lot of things. I mean, you said a million words, because you said, once I developed the mindset to take control of my situation and not let it take control of me, right? That's very powerful. Mindset is everything. And I can't express that enough. But having a village of people supporting you, telling you you can do this, you can get through this, is also very, very important. And then your relationship with Christ, becoming more dependent on him, because
Yes.
he has the final say.
Mhm.
So just amazing too, because a lot of things I'm learning for the first time too, because like you said, I was pregnant, and you were not very present because of your situation. So you didn't want to put me and the baby at risk, but we still kept in contact. And just the way
Yes, yes.
that I felt when I got the news, it just felt like somebody just like punch me as hard as they could in the chest, and it just sucked everything out of me. But I too, look to God. God, I know, I know what you can do. Do it for my mom. Allow her,
Yes.
to continue to be a blessing to us. So we don't take not any second, for granted. So I'm just thankful to have you here. And for anybody that's listening to this, God is amazing. That's all I have to
Always,
say. And I am
always,
just,
always.
thankful and grateful to have my mom here. We don't always see eye to eye, but when you think about the things that we disagree with compared to the mountains that she's had to climb, and I've had to climb, and we had to climb to get where we are today, it's really not worth it, because life is entirely too short. So if you're
Yes.
listening to this and you still have your mom here, take advantage of that. Take advantage of that, because this story could have ended up a different way, and it was nobody but God. And we're thankful. So we're gonna fast forward a little bit, because we have so much more that we want to share. Because I want you to share with us life after cancer. Like you say, you are cancer free. How many years has it been?
Wow. Since 2013.
2013. So going on
Almost 9 years.
almost 9
Wow. Wow.
years. That is amazing.
QJ is 9 years old, right?
Yeah, QJ is 9.
Okay, yeah. And that's why I'm so close to Carter, because I missed out on, well, I'm close to both of them, don't get me wrong, but I missed out in being there with her with QJ, because of ignorance, not knowing that it's okay, but I wasn't taking any chances. So Carter, we are really on several. You ask Carter who his favorite girl is, and he's gonna tell you grandma. But I love QJ. I would see him and look at the pictures, but those are my boys. And
Yes, they
like
are.
my daughter says, she was going through everything. Like at the time, everybody was going through something. Her granddad, he, her. It was just so much at one time. Wow, I know this. God he puts you in situations. What? It's up to you to go through it. Now, if you stop, that's on you. Like I said, I had to get the mindset to go through it. When I stopped and let it control me, it controlled me. But once I said, oh, no, this is not what he wants. He wants me to go through this. And that's what I did. But I just love your family. That's all I can say. Just love your family.
Love your
Right
family.
now, I'm living my best life.
So fast forward, 9 years cancer free, finding the love of your life, life after, being a widow, and you finally feel like you found your
Soulmate.
Your soulmate, your love. And I watch how you guys interact, and I watch how he loves on you. You know, he calls you sweets, and you know, you travel. You don't take life for granted. And you're always so full of energy, whether you feel good or you feel up to it or not. You're always the life of the party, and just so much full of energy. So kind of walk us through now. What is life like you now? Like, what is
life is
for you now?
exciting. I mean, I'm a grandma. I got my grandbabies. Like, I still God is good. I still have my mom. My dad is gone, but I miss him every single day. But you know, life is great. Everything is great. And yes, I was blessed to find a good one. He's a good man. He's good to me. He's good to my mom, my children, my grandchildren. I didn't think they had good men out there.
So no,
Everybody looking for that handsome man, and tall, dark, and handsome. Get me wrong, he's very handsome, and he's mine. But you know, what the things they're looking for is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a man to take care of me, good to me, and I'll be good to him. So life is good. My daughter's good. My son is good. You know, hey.
So you live
life is short, and I want to live every bit of it. And I'm working again. Can you believe I got a firearm? I carry a gun.
So you doing what you love to do, and you just enjoying life with the people you love.
Yes, I mean, it couldn't be no better. It could not be any better than what it is, right? There's nothing else. I wouldn't change anything. A little bit more money, but other than that, no.
You wouldn't change anything.
I wouldn't change anything. Oh, one thing I would change is have my daughter closer.
Y'all hear that? You always got to throw that in there.
Have my baby closer to me. That's one thing I want.
Yeah. But even when I moved up here, you was with me the first.
Oh, it was pretty fun. We had a good time. We drove up there, and Did I help you drive? But
we drove.
She said I didn't help her drive.
You drove like 2 hours out of 14 hours.
Okay, well, I was company. We drove to. We both had our favorite music. It was my song. Mine was what's his name? That little Spanish guy.
Oh, Bruno Mars.
Yeah, and you had Rihanna and that other guy. So
yeah,
it was good.
And we continue to have fun and enjoy each other. And I'm just like I can't say it enough how grateful I am to be sitting here, allowing, sharing my mom with you guys, allowing her to tell her testimony, because it's so powerful. And this is not going to be the end.
No.
She's going to tell it, so much more. And, maybe we'll even do a tour, one day when this series is over, just have all the women on a panel.
Oh, yes. I love that.
And we just do tours. I think that would be so awesome. Because we really got to love on each other. We really do have to love on each other. So I'm thankful and I'm grateful. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message us at the Say What podcast on Instagram. And my mom is on Instagram and Facebook too. If you want to just, shout her out and, send her some love, some hearts, and just let us know how her testimony just touched you, whether you shared it with someone in your family. What is your social media handles, Mom?
I don't know. What does that mean? Somebody put me on there.
What's your Facebook?
Diana Glenn.
Oh, so she is Diana Glenn, DianaGlenn on Facebook and Instagram. And
I think I'm old Diana on Instagram.
Okay, old Diana. Okay, I'll make sure I tag her. I'll tag her on this episode, but make sure y'all show her some love and let her know, how blessed she is, and she already knows it. But and we're blessed to have her. And we would love to stay here and talk to you guys all day and all night. But unfortunately, she's booked and busy. So she has things that she has to do, and I have things that I have to do. Mom, I love you with everything in me. Thank you for spending a couple minutes with us, because I know you are extremely busy living your best life. Girl, look, I want to be more like her.
Yes.
When I grow up, because her and her friends, when they get together, they have a good time.
February weekend.
Yes.
65 birthday bash. We're gonna be in Myrtle Beach. We're gonna have Kima bring us back. All the ladies will be here. All the ladies, we go to Myrtle Beach for a birthday bash, and I'm gonna have my baby, the Zoomers, all in.
Okay, so we'll do a podcast with the old school crew, and let them enlighten us. And I'm telling you, it's gonna be so. I'm talking about laughing till your stomach hurt, till you like begging them to stop.
Yes.
Right. And I know people say all the time, you know, they see couples and they say couple goals or this goals and that goals. My goal is to be 65 like they are, in the best of health, living their truth, living their best life, living with the love of their life, still having so much life and energy in them. That there is a goal for me. So we're going to sign off.
And I'll be living with her, living my best life with her. While she living her best life, I'm going to have her own room in the back.
She is crazy, y'all.
I'm serious. So when she be living it up with her girlfriends in an empty nest, I'm be living with her. Her nest ain't gonna never be empty because I'm be right there with her. Believe it.
Ma, is there anything you would like to leave us with? Any closing remarks?
Love your family. Spend time with your family. If somebody is sick, call them on the phone. You'd be surprised what a smile will bring to their face. Say, hey, how you doing? Do you need some soup? Do you need anything? That's what you do. Love your family. Get all them grudges out the way. Ain't nobody got time for drama. Let the drama go. Bring the love in. That's what I say.
Absolutely. Love on your family. Love on your friends. If you got, good people around you, love on them. Because I'm telling you, good people are hard to find. So when you got good people, you got to keep them close. So Chameleons, we're going to unfortunately bring it to a close. Like I said, she's booked and busy. She has some things to do. And of course, I have things to do too. We thank you for rocking with us. For those of you that are just hearing my voice for the very first time, thank you for spending some time with me and my mom, and to my Chameleons who've been rocking with me since day one. I love each and every one of you in a very, very special way. And I would not be here week after week, series after series, episode after episode, if it was not for you. So make sure you give yourself a big hug today from me. And I want you to be blessed and be safe.
All right. Mama's got to go.
Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know? Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know? Say